In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
I mean, that has to be one of the most famous opening lines in, well, in all of literature.
Absolutely. It's right up there with Call Me Ishmael, but it has this weight to it, you know?
It does. Even if you're not religious, you've heard it. It sounds poetic, almost unknowable.
Which is exactly why we're here.
Yeah.
We're doing something a little different for this deep dive. We're not just reading the text. We have this stack of very dense, fascinating commentary notes.
On just the first chapter of the Gospel of John.
And the premise in these notes is, well, it's pretty radical.
It's mind-bending.
It is. The source material argues that these verses are not just history. They're not just poetry. It claims there's a hidden internal structure here.
A code, basically.
Literally a code. One that describes the psychology of the human mind and the nature of the universe itself.
Exactly. So our mission today is to try and decode some of that symbolism. We're moving away from the literal story.
Right, away from the guys in sandals in Galilee.
And we're looking at the internal map, where characters aren't just people, they represent huge concepts.
Things like truth, goodness, the literal word. I have to admit, when I first started reading this, I felt like I needed a decoder ring.
It takes a minute to get into the rhythm of it.
But once you do, it becomes incredibly practical. It shifts the whole thing from a story about the past to a story about what's happening inside you right now.
It turns the text into a mirror.
So let's unpack it. Let's start right at the top, verses 1 to 5. In the beginning was the Word.
Okay.
Now, when I hear word, I think of, text, language. But this source has a much, much heavier definition.
It really does. It defines the word, or logos in the Greek, as way more than a book. It represents the Lord, but specifically in the form of divine truth.
Divine wisdom.
Exactly. It's the organizing principle of reality, the logic that holds everything together.
The source uses a really good analogy to explain this, the one about the sun.
Yes. This is what makes the abstract concept of the Trinity actually make sense.
It was the moment things started clicking for me. Can you break that down for us?
Okay, yeah. So just imagine the sun. You have 3 distinct parts, but they're all one thing.
Right.
First, you have the fire of the sun, the core heat.
Okay.
In this spiritual anatomy that represents divine love. It's the source, the motive force behind everything.
So love is the fire. Got it.
Then you have the light that comes from that fire. You can't have one without the other, right?
Of course not.
That light represents divine wisdom. That is the word. It's the truth that lets the love be seen and understood.
Heat is love, light is wisdom. Okay, what's the third part?
It's the activity of that light when it hits the earth, warming the soil, making plants grow.
The effect it has on us.
Precisely. That activity is the Holy Spirit. It's the operation of that love and wisdom in our lives.
That is so much clearer. It's not 3 beings, it's one source with 3 phases. Heat, light, and action.
Exactly, and the text says this word, this divine truth, is the light of men.
Which brings us right to the conflict. The light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Now, I usually think of darkness as just ignorance, an empty space. But the source gets a lot more intense with its definition.
It does. It says light is the divine truth that makes us spiritually alive. But darkness isn't just an empty void.
No, it represents falsity, but specifically the state of being ruled by self-love.
And here's the kicker. The source says that people in that state of darkness physically cannot handle the light.
I highlighted that part. It's such a profound psychological idea.
The commentary compares them to, like, nocturnal insects.
Oh.
Or owls.
Which is such a weirdly specific image.
But it works, doesn't it? It says that for someone deep in that state of falsity, the truth is actually painful.
So it's not that they just don't understand it.
No, it's that they recoil from it. It hurts them, like dragging an owl out into the noon sun.
That suggests rejecting truth isn't just an intellectual choice, it's almost a compatibility issue. If your spiritual eye is adapted for the dark, the light is blinding.
It's offensive. We see that, don't we? When a hard truth comes up, the reaction is often anger, pain. That's the darkness, not comprehending the light.
Speaking of things that have existed for a while, there's one detail in the source material that really caught me off guard, this idea of a prehistoric word.
Yes. Section 9210b. This is a deep cut.
It blew my mind. We generally think the word starts with, Moses, the Old Testament.
That's the common understanding.
But this source claims there was a word before our Bible.
Correct. The commentary says the link between heaven and earth has always existed through some kind of revelation. It mentions the ancient church, or Noah's church.
Noah's church.
Yeah, meaning a spiritual era of humanity, prehistory. They supposedly had a word written entirely in pure symbolism,
It even lists the names of lost books, like the Wars of Jehovah.
which are actually referenced in the Old Testament, if you look really closely. But the point is that humanity was never left alone. There has always been a bridge to the divine.
So our current Bible is just the latest version of this eternal word.
That's the idea. It's universal.
Okay, let's move on. Verse 6. A character finally enters the stage, John the Baptist.
Right.
Now, in Sunday school, he's the wild man eating locusts. But if we're decoding this, who or what is John?
In this internal structure, John the Baptist represents the literal sense of the word.
The literal sense, you mean, the actual text, the stories, the history, the words on the page.
Exactly. The outer container, the thou shalt nots. The source uses a great fruit analogy here.
The skin and the meat.
Yes. So Jesus is the internal meat or the juice of the fruit, the spiritual truth, the love.
Is nourishment.
Right. But John represents the skin or the rind.
And you need the skin to hold it all together.
You have to have it. Without the skin, the literal stories, the rules, the internal truth would just spill out and evaporate. The skin protects the inside.
So John has to come first to prepare the way for Jesus.
The skin has to grow first to hold the fruit.
That makes the whole voice in the wilderness thing make so much more sense. The source says a wilderness is a state of mind, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's a state where goodness and truth are absent. It's desolate. Think of a time when you felt spiritually just, empty.
That's the wilderness.
And in that state, you can't just jump straight to some high-level spiritual idea. It won't stick.
You need something more direct.
You need the crying out of the literal word. Basic instructions, do this, don't do that, stop hurting people. That's what reaches you in the wilderness.
Which explains why John baptizes with water.
And water signifies purification. The source is crystal clear on this. You can't receive the internal spiritual truth, Jesus, until you first clean up your external life.
Yes, John.
That's John. Stop the evil actions. That's the washing. Once you've done that, then you're ready for the internal baptism of fire and spirit.
So when John says, I am not the light, but I bear witness to the light, it's the Bible's literal text saying.
I'm the container, but the real life is inside me. It's a beautiful way to see it. The text is the vessel, not the destination.
That is so cool. Okay, let's go deeper. The incarnation. And the Word was made flesh.
The central event,
Yeah.
the infinite taking on a finite form.
But the question is always, why? Why would the infinite squeeze into a human body? The source had a very strategic reason.
It did. It frames it like a rescue mission. The argument is that the gap between the divine and humanity had grown too wide. Humans had become, well, the source uses the word diabolical.
That's a strong word.
It means hellish. The connection was breaking, so the divine had to take on a physical form, a human essence from Mary, to physically fight that hellish influence.
So it was about bridging a gap that couldn't be bridged any other way.
Right. And this leads to an important distinction the source makes between Son of God and Son of Man.
I always just thought those are interchangeable.
Not here. In this commentary, Son of God refers to the divine human, the glorified result.
Okay.
But Son of Man refers to divine truth while it's undergoing temptation and struggle.
That's fascinating. We don't think of truth as struggling.
But it does in our minds, doesn't it? When you learn a new truth, it has to fight against your old habits.
That's a good point.
The source also says the incarnation was full of grace and truth, and it splits those up too. Grace isn't just a nice feeling,
It's spiritual good, love and affection.
and truth relates to faith or understanding, and it insists they have to be married.
Always. You can't have one without the other.
Faith without charity is dead. It's like cold light, winter sunshine. It's bright, but nothing grows.
You need the heat and the light together.
You do.
Which brings us to, well, us, the listener. Verses 12 and 13 talk about becoming a child of God.
Right. To them gave he power to become the sons of God.
But then it gives this not list, a bunch of ways you are not born into this.
Yes, not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man. This is key to the psychology of it.
Okay, let's decode these. First up, blood.
In this context, the source says blood represents falsity. We're just relying on your own sensual thinking.
Meaning, if I can't touch it or see it, I don't believe it.
Exactly. Or just your biological hereditary programming.
Okay, next, will of the flesh.
That one's a bit more direct. It's evil, specifically self-love, lust, our lower nature, the part that just wants what it wants.
And the third one, will of man.
This one can sting a little. It's our own intelligence, our ego-driven plans and intentions.
So to have this spiritual rebirth, you can't rely on your senses, your desires, or even your own cleverness.
That's the takeaway. You don't inherit it, and you don't achieve it through willpower. It has to be received. It's a surrender, not an achievement.
And the source is clear, this isn't like an instant zap.
No, not at all. That's a big reality check. It describes regeneration as a long struggle. It talks about bearing the cross.
Which here isn't a physical object.
No, the cross here is a metaphor for spiritual temptation, the mental battle. The source says you have to actually hate your hereditary selfish nature to be reborn.
It's a process of fighting that internal darkness we talked about.
It is a battle. It's dismantling the old self to build the new one.
Well, if we're going into battle, we should talk about the team. The disciples show up in verses 29 to 51.
Right. And again, the names mean things, starting with the big two, Jesus and Christ.
We say them together, but they're two sides of a coin here. Jesus represents
Divine good, love,
and Christ is divine truth.
wisdom, faith. Together they form one body.
Then the disciples start to arrive. Simon Peter, Andrew, Nathaniel, and they are archetypes of our own spiritual journey.
Yes. Don't think of them as other people. Think of them as parts of you starting to follow the truth.
Okay, so who's Peter?
Simon Peter represents faith. He's the part of you that grasps the truth intellectually and says, yes, I believe this.
But belief isn't enough.
Not according to this.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have Andrew. Andrew represents obedience. Faith, Peter, needs to be followed by action.
You have to actually do what you believe.
That's Andrew.
And then there's Nathaniel. He's described as being without guile.
Honest, simple good. He's not playing games. He's not trying to work an angle.
Which leads to that famous fig tree moment. Jesus sees him under a fig tree. What is that about?
Is one of my favorite symbols. The fig tree represents natural good.
Natural good. What does that mean in like everyday life?
It means just doing good things.
Yeah.
Being a decent person. Not because of some complex theology, but just being kind to your neighbor. Doing your job with integrity.
The basics.
The basics. That state of life is the fig tree.
So Jesus seeing him under the fig tree means the divine sees us when we are just trying our best to be decent people.
Exactly. And that state of natural goodness is the starting point. You have to be under the fig tree before you can see greater things.
Right. Jesus says that to him. You shall see greater things than these.
And that's the connection. You start with natural good, and that opens the door to spiritual vision. You can't skip the basics.
It all connects back to John the Baptist, cleaning the outside of the cup first.
It's the same pattern over and over.
Perfect.
John prepares for Jesus. The fig tree prepares for the open heaven.
Which leads to the final amazing image of the chapter, verse 51. Hereafter you shall see heaven open, and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man.
This is the climax. It's the fulfillment of Jacob's ladder from the Old Testament.
The source interprets this as the connection between our mind and the divine reopening.
Right. The angels ascending and descending represents the flow of communication.
Ascending and descending, both ways.
Truths going up from us as we learn, and goodness flowing down into us from the divine. It's a dynamic two-way relationship.
And the Son of Man, the Word is the ladder itself.
Precisely. The Word is the mechanism that connects our mind to heaven.
So, to summarize this whole deep dive, this text, according to the source, is a map.
It's a map of regeneration, a journey. You start with the idea of the Word. You face the darkness of your own ego.
Then you meet John the Baptist. You have to follow the literal rules, clean up your act, be the skin of the fruit.
Right. And by doing that, you prepare the way for the internal reality, Jesus, to come in. You're born again through a struggle.
And finally, if you sit under that fig tree, if you just practice simple natural goodness, you can see the heavens open.
That's the arc. From the external shell to the internal life.
It really changes it from believing a history story to living out a process.
And that's the so what of all this. The Bible isn't just history. It's a mirror of your own psychology, your own potential for growth.
It makes you look at that book on your shelf very differently.
It really does.
I want to leave everyone with a final thought based on that last verse.
Go for it.
If the Word is the ladder that connects us to the divine, where are you on that ladder right now? Are you stuck on the literal shell, just following the rules like John?
Or are you starting to move toward that internal life?
And maybe, are you willing to just sit under the fig tree long enough to be seen?
That is the question.
Thank you for taking this deep dive into the hidden anatomy of the Word with us.
It was a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
Dear beloved brothers and sisters, all these profound interpretations are contained in the 20-volume series Arcana, Ecclesia. Written with my whole heart and soul over more than 10 years, this book is a great work in which, through the Lord's mercy, the spiritual secrets that were hidden throughout the 4 Gospels are revealed to the world for the first time. If you wish to gain a deeper understanding of the true meaning of the Bible and the spiritual world, I invite you to join this journey. Please share this YouTube channel with those who are not yet in the light of truth, and take part in our mission to proclaim the truth of the New Jerusalem. We will soon meet again with a new Arcana Ecclesia series. I pray that the Lord's blessing and peace will always be with you. Thank you.